Hi, so here's a shaky close-up video of the wreaths I'm about to make in my first YouTube video ever. And I'm intimidated by a lot of things, for example, going on record and wreath making. But we're gonna make them today. We're gonna get through this. I picked up a few of these wreaths from the Dollar Tree. They usually have these year-round. Always save and dry out your florals from any of your suitors. Enjoy the outdoors and the nature, and if it's legal, take a stem or two home for a little touch of memory. So I have these wreaths I got at the Dollar Tree. Floral tape, which I'm actually not going to use. I was just keeping it together with the floral wire. Some dried oranges and flowers and glue gun sticks, a glue gun, scissors, and then I just went outside and picked these up. So we'll see if we use these. So I started out here with some of that Dollar Tree wire, which I will switch over to raffia in a bit, and some of this bendy vine. You can't really see it in the video, but you'll be able to see it here in a little bit. And I wrapped it around and I started wrapping the wire around to hold it. But like I said, raffia is going to hold it better for me. This did do the job, but we'll change it here in a bit. I sped up the video, that way this video wouldn't be as long as Lord of the Rings, part 1 and part 2. Then added in that I'm a first-time editor. This basically took me 40 days and 40 nights to make, but we're gonna get through this. It's a learning process. I've wrapped 2 vines around it so far. I can't tell if it's gonna make it look cuter, but we're just gonna go with it because I'm already in too deep. 2 vines in too deep. I guess that's not a lot, but we're just gonna go with it, but this is what we have so far. Hey. So I'm off in another spot because I have a short attention span, and also I didn't film this all in one day. So now I'm gluing some of this dried, whatever this is that I picked up in Chicago. And I should have sprayed it with hairspray first, which is a good tip that I would give for anybody. I just didn't have any hairspray on hand. But I would spray it with a little sexy, you know, if you have that on hand, just to keep it from drying out. And also with gluing down all these dried down leaves and flowers and florals and everything, just be really careful with them because they do break really easy. Whenever I do go to store these, I'm going to have to be really careful. So I did glue down the green and some of the baby's breath whispers or whatever that is. I started to glue down some of these. Honestly, I don't know what any of this is, but I found it outside. Now I'm just going to glue down some of this oranges, and this is also going to cover parts of what's been glued before. So I'm just going to lay this down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a job at Joann's or Michael's after this, but I'll keep you updated. So I'm gluing these oranges down, burning my finger a little bit. I am going to find a solution to this a little bit later, which you will see. Checking out my orange placement there. I actually quite liked putting it underneath there, but it also kind of looked weird. So I wound up going safe route and putting it right here in the front. And it looks nice either way, in my opinion. Hopefully other people think the same. So now it's just glue, glue, glue. Burn, 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 and then that's it. We are done with our first wreath. All right, so let's start on this second bad boy. So let me just take a second and say I started this YouTube channel because, well, I forced myself to start this channel because I DIY, clean, organize. I just cannot stop unless I am making something. Chances are, if you were out with me in person and we're having a conversation, I'm probably in the back of my mind thinking about going home and watching YouTube and making something. I've been creative for as long as I can remember, and I can't sing, I can't dance, so here we are. So this video is probably going to be pretty embarrassing, but it's fine. I don't take myself too seriously. So I grabbed one of these leaf thingies. I'm sorry, I don't know the names to any of these plants, but I kind of like tried to flatten out some of the raffia here, and I'm going to kind of just wrap it around at the bottom and glue it together and just do my best to just kind of keep them together. It's the best way I figured how to do it at the time. So after I glued this together, I called it a day and went to make some food. But don't do what I do, or else you're going to have a wreath in 5 days instead of 5 minutes, which is how long it should take. And it's a new day. I had a little Goodwill break. I went, bought a new table, and went to a different area of the house because I have a very short attention span, and that's just how it goes. So I'm cutting off some of these dried, dried, you already know, I don't know what they are, flowers, trying to figure out where to position them here, gonna get them glued down. These were a little difficult. You can see I'm kind of struggling with these here. It's looking a little raffia tied down at the bottom, but again, nothing a little oranges can't fix. So that's what we're gonna do here in a second. So I have a fall candle going in the background and it smells so good. And don't worry, I'm being really careful not to get my stems or my florals into the candle because I don't want to burn down my new table from the Goodwill or my house. Y'all, how devastating was last year when the thrift stores were closed for all those months? Oh my God, I would dream of the day when I could go treasure hunting again. So anywho, I'm gluing this little area down, and at this point I brought in a helping hand because I was sick of burning my finger. So this video will probably get only like 3 views or something like that, but that's okay. Got to start somewhere, right? I'm actually really very camera shy and I have a lot of anxiety, so having views just gives me anxiety on its own. So my plan is to actually get into a pattern of uploading DIY videos because that's what I do. Maybe some cleaning and organizing. I actually really love to cook as well, so maybe a little bit of that, not sure yet. But I do also have a client with a house that needs a full renovation. It needs everything, and I would like to show that here in an upcoming video of things it needs and stuff I want to do. I've been looking out for fixtures and paint colors and floor. It needs everything. So hopefully you'll get to see that soon. So I watch a lot of YouTube, like a lot of YouTube. And one of the people that I follow is Exo McKenna, who actually bought a house actually not too far from where I am. And she's been working on this house for months. And I just love watching it. And it's getting me motivated and just getting me excited to pick out all these things for this house that I want to work on here in the near future. Moving on. All right, so I have the oranges here and I'm just trying to figure out a placement and see what I'm going to do with that little whatever that thing is. So yeah, just going to put down the oranges here. I'm going to grab another hand from Miss Thang over here, who's helping me out a lot when it comes to the glue gun process. Although I did see another YouTuber using, I guess, this little thimble. I think you can get it at Dollar Tree too. Yep, just looked it up. It's a little silicone thimble, and I think I did see them at Dollar Tree recently, so I do need to pick one of those up. And I have no idea why I don't have one of those. Anyways, the hand's working fine for me. I will say that these are Dollar Tree wreaths that I am using in this video, but I do not plan to make a lot of Dollar Tree videos just because to me personally, I do think, a lot of cheesy things, a lot of cool things can come out of it. But for me, I'd rather repurpose something that I find at the Goodwill or maybe like a curbside find or something. I am really into furniture and redoing furniture. So my plans are not to do a lot of Dollar Tree projects. But I do have another Dollar Tree item that I can make into something really cool that I'm hoping to make in an upcoming video. Played around with that pumpkin, but decided against it at the end. So this one's going to look a little jumbled in the beginning, but I think it actually came out really cute in my personal opinion. I grabbed 3 of these, just the vines, and you can see the vines on the right. I cut them from the backyard. They grow really long, and they're easy to bend when they're still pretty freshly cut. So I took some of those, and they had only been drying out for like a day or something. So I just tied them to the top over here. And then it's just going to be 3, and then they're kind of just going to be hanging from there. Looks a little weird right now, but it gets better, I hope. So these steps are pretty easy. It's just, again, just wrapping the raffia around and then gluing it down. Still need to order one of those thimbles. And then after that, I think I'm just going to come in and get the small stems around me that I had already kind of trimmed down to put them in the cup. But I'm just going to trim them down a little bit more and hang them. So with this wreath, I want it to be hanging upside down. And I'm sorry if things are cut off. I am very new to this and I'm just learning how to film. I've never edited. I'm not the technology person at all. I've always been more of a, I'd rather just do labor work than please don't show me a computer. Please don't make me mess with the phone. It sometimes just brings me to tears. I'm just not really good at any of that stuff. So I apologize if things are cut off. I will get better. This is only my first time and you gotta practice to learn things, right? So this is me practicing. Also, since I am using dried oranges in all three of these wreaths, I probably should have shown my process on that. But basically, I just cut the oranges, and I have also done blood oranges and grapefruits, and I've done lemons before too. So cut them into slices, and then you want to get a paper towel or just in some type of rag or something and flatten out the oranges. You want to take out all the juices from the orange or lemon or whichever grapefruit, whatever fruit that you choose to use. And you want to be careful how you're smashing it because also the way you smash it is the way it's going to look. I really probably should have recorded this. But then you want to put it in the oven and you want to have it on a low temperature, around 200 degrees. And then just cook that and off and on. You're going to have to for several hours and go in and flip it. In this video right here, I actually forgot to show how I kind of connected the cone. So I just went in and made a loop and glued the raffia down to the bottom. And that way I had raffia on each side so that I could just tie it down. But I also didn't show that, so I'm sorry about that. Then here, I'm just coming and gluing the rest of the oranges to it. You'll notice that one of the oranges is brighter than the other. It's because the orange that I'm going to add secondly is actually a blood orange. So that's why, or was that one or did I burn it? No, I think that one was a blood orange. So that one is a different color, but I did that on purpose. I wanted them to have like this two-tone color to it. So then after that, I thought I was pretty much done here, but then I just saw one more dried floral that I wanted to add to it, but I'm just going to add that on, and then after that, this simple wreath is pretty much done. All right, so the end is near, and they were actually really easy. I don't know why I've never made a wreath before. Anyways, here's the final reveal. Toodles! Hope you like.